Chapter 11. Mohsen opened his eyes in the morning to what sounded like an angelic voice calling his name. Do you think it is a voice coming from heaven? But the call was repeated, clear and sweet, so the boy jumped out of his bed and listened, then smiled. It's coming from the lower window. It is Susie, saying in a musical tone, Mohsen. Improver. The boy rushed to the window like crazy. Are you calling me? The girl raised her beautiful eyelashes in some amazement. The boy saw her hand on the parrot's cage, and the safflower love came to him, and he realized everything. He was disappointed and confused. Sorry. I forgot. I share the same name with your parrot. He saw her smiling, and saw her beauty that early morning, brighter than the narcissus flowers in her window pots, so he was encouraged and said, Yes, I share the name with this parrot, but I do not share the luck with him. The difference between us is great. He is the one who receives your care, so you call him, and his prayers, this fool who does not feel how happy he is. For those socialists who demand equality between people in terms of fortune and lot, and I cannot covet my equality in fortune and lot with this parrot. The girl laughed and said, Do you think he is greedy and difficult? To be like this parrot? I am not asking for anything except to be exactly like him. But you are not in a cage. Oh, my lady. I am in a cage that not everyone can see. The girl looked at him carefully, then said with a smile, If you are really like that, then you deserve some of that kindness which we give to birds imprisoned in cages. The boy quickly said in a plea, Trust that I am the most deserving of your kindness among the birds on earth. The girl asked him, What kind of kindness do you want from me? Of course I can't offer you a little safflower. You can have a little safflower with me this evening in a restaurant, in any restaurant you like. The girl laughed a long, gentle laugh. What a skillful caretaker you are. Me? For the first time I hear someone describing me as skilled at something. Thank you. The afternoon did not come until Mohsen was at Andre's house, taking up the world and sitting around, and his French friend sat him in front of the mirror and arranged his shaggy hair, while Jermaine cleaned his black coat with gasoline and removed the stains from it, and the boy saw the interest of his two colleagues. He shouted, enthusing them, Yes, make me a person worthy of meeting a beautiful woman. Jermaine smiled and said with unclear sarcasm, I finally learned her name. Susie. The boy said it in a whisper, as if someone was reciting a prayer, but Jermaine heard him and said with a smile, A beautiful name, and the appointment, where? And when? This evening at the metro station. And after? We'll have dinner. In which restaurant? Oh, you're right. I don't know, what a disaster. I forgot to check the corresponding restaurant. Hurry. Hurry up, Andre, and tell me what you think about this dangerous topic. Andre shouted in despair, Don't shake like that. Your hair has been messed up, and its strands are scattered again. Oh, my trouble with you has been in vain. But the theme of the restaurant is of great importance. There is nothing more trivial than the issue of the restaurant. This is what you describe as dangerous and of great importance. Everything you imagine is always enormous. If I were you, I would simply take her to the Bucardi restaurant. Jermaine laughed a long laugh, and her husband looked at her with a look of amazement. Why are you laughing? It's the restaurant she took me to on the day of our first meeting, and yet, she didn't want to ask for me at that time, Haute Favoria. Do you still remember those foolish things? Mohsen shouted as he turned to them, You did well with this foolishness. I will order this Haute Favoria for her. Andre rebuked him, I told you, don't be shaken. And do not move, until I am finished and I am satisfied with your view. The boy turned to the mirror and said anxiously, Do you think the situation will be reassuring? In any case, the matter should not lead to despair. Mohsen reluctantly remained silent, then he quickly returned to saying, as if he remembered something important, Listen, Andre. In my coat pocket is an expensive bottle of Hooligan, which I bought based on your valuable advice. Do you think I should perfume myself with it before the meeting? It is enough to. The issue is not a hobby issue. You want to say? Andre took one last look at Mohsen's hair and face, then shouted in a cheerful tone, I want to say that you now have the face of a lover who can go straight to his date. Mohsen got up and went to the smiling Jermaine. Is he deceiving me? He is telling the truth, Jermaine said to Four as she presented him with the coat. Put on your coat, and go at ease, you happy boy. Mohsen put on his coat and stood in front of the mirror, contemplating his appearance for a long time. It is a matter of taste. As long as this view is appropriate in your opinion for going to appointments, it is not polite for me to challenge your taste. See you later, he said as he moved to the door, raising his black hat in the air. Andre and his wife led him to the stairs, saying with two names. Be encouraged. Mohsen waited for the girl until she came, and they went to Bacard and had dinner. Then they went out to El Gran Boulevard, where they drank coffee in one of the bars. The clock struck 10, and Susie got up and asked to return to her place. Only then did the boy wake up and jump up. He came to his senses, and suddenly felt hungry. He had not eaten anything in the restaurant. He had entered it hungry, but he left hungry without realizing it. And was he able, while he was next to her, to think about eating or drinking? The stomach sleeps when the soul wakes up. He does not remember anything about his affairs, but he remembers everything about her affairs. He mentions the graceful movement of her hands as she ate Ordvavoria, and he mentions the beauty of her mouth as he drank Burjuni. He could hear the echo of her soft, low laughter, when she would find him distracted from food by looking at her, or talking at length about things that he no longer remembered what they were. Hours passed, as if her eyelashes were shaking, and now it was time to part ways with her. No, this is impossible. Did they reach the door of the inn so quickly? Why is fate so cruel to people? The hour becomes long as if it were an eternity when we fall into distress or affliction, and it becomes shorter as if it were a fleeting smile when we pass through bliss. The boy was only surprised by her hand extending to him as a farewell before she entered the hostel. No, there is still time, and it is still the beginning of the night, and I have something to say that I have not yet revealed to you. Mohsen said it while holding Susie's hand in his carefully and fearfully. The girl said, of course, I cannot receive you in my room at this time, nor go up to your room. Then say what you want here now, or, let's walk a little down this street. They walked side by side on that long road with large trees, until they reached the borders of Port Delilah's, and they returned from the side of the road until they approached Gambetta Square. The light surprised them, so they turned back and took shelter in the shade of the trees, and the boy did not speak, while she was silent. Who is waiting for him to say something? As if her patience was running out, she said in a low, gentle voice, what did you want to tell me? Everything. I am listening to you. Mohsen wanted to speak, but the words escaped from his head. Just as birds escape from cages. He has a naked feeling, and he should not show him naked in front of a lady. He must have an elegant dress. A woman is always pleased with an elegant dress, even if it is on a thin body due to a thin emotion. This girl undoubtedly realizes what he has, and she is not satisfied with that, but she is bleeding her feet, walking at this night, to hear words that are pleasing to her in and of herself. So what do you see her doing with strong feelings in worn-out burial mounds? Mohsen feared the consequences and was overcome by delusion, so he said in a whisper, no. I cannot now. She also said like a whisper, why? Tomorrow if you want. But now? The boy hesitated for a moment, then took control and set off as a frightened fugitive who wanted to convince his mind of courage and steadfastness, saying like someone addressing himself, I am not worthy to tell you what I want now. Let me send you tomorrow a messenger on my behalf who can speak well. Who is he? The ancient Greek poet, I am Creon. I will bring him with me tomorrow afternoon at the metro station, and he will reveal.